Alright, let's retake this. Well, my camera was about to die, so I decided to charge it. And I wanted to go on through, but it seemed like that I went through a blank. So, let's continue this, and, so, we talked about Menace to Society, Love You to Pieces, and Give 'Em the Axe. And so in 1987, we'll end up seeing the third full-length album by Lizzy Borden titled Visual Lies. Now by this time, the band was definitely refining more of their sound, more melodic this time around, and not nearly as power metal sounding as Menace to Society, Love You to Pieces, and the Give 'Em the Axe EP. And that could due to the fact that new producer, Max Norman, of course I talked about two US power metal albums that were produced by, Max Norman, Sabotage's Power of the Night, and Armored Saints' Delirious Nomad. So, how those albums were refined, to be quite honest. This guy, whatever album he touches, the less power metal sounding they sound, the less heavy. Not that it's a bad thing, but it definitely can cause an alarm for a lot of people who really enjoyed their really early stuff. So with this, it was no different. This is definitely a little more slicker in places. It's more melodic. And it's definitely due to also the track that opens this album up. Me Against the World, which is actually, a music video as well. And how that music video looked. Definitely not a bad song, but it's kind of the basis for the whole album. Shock, Outcast, Den of Thieves. The title track is actually one of the slower songs in this album. It's kind of a more melodic track. Even more melodic than the other songs, but Eyes of a Stranger, not to be confused with the Queensryche song, Lord of the Flies, Voyeur, I'm Watching You, and of course, Visions. So, definitely not a bad album. It's just less power metal sounding, and there still are some good songs on here, don't get me wrong. There are. But it's not nearly as, throat-grabbing as the past three releases by Lizzy Borden. Still, I can't really say Max Norman does definitely slick up the production, but then again, Brian Slagel is also on board to kind of help the album to still not sound so refined. Because again, any album that Brian Slagel touches, it's got a much heavier, more raw bite to it. And of course, Metal Blade is his baby, and what other band is under his, umbrella, he wants to at least make it sound, as releasable as possible. So, yeah, that's a weird way to put it. So, definitely not a bad album, but this is where I stop with reviewing the Lizzy Borden stuff, because after this, they will release their for the while their last album with for the 80s, Master of the Skies, and that album is not really a power metal at all, and you definitely would be thinking, why am I even reviewing Visualize? The thing is, this album still has some of that power metal sound, just not a whole lot. But it was still something to talk about for this month. But Master of the Skies, they changed their sound a bit, experimenting a lot with stuff. Not that that is a bad album. It's not a power metal album. It's a very experimental album that even at times seems to be throwing a little bit of early 70s Queen into their sound. So, with that, good album, just not nearly as strong as the past three releases. But that's just my opinion. So, what are your opinions on this album? Definitely post that all in the comment section. So, now it's just time to get on to the next band. So, hope you enjoyed these, Lizzy Borden reviews. So until then, this is Hippie Thrasher saying I am out. And I'll see you more for US Power Metal Month. Later.